Alors, comment ça va?
Ah, ça va bien et tout?
Ça va bien, merci. Bienvenue.
Merci beaucoup.
Vous avez un français parfait.
Merci beaucoup. J'ai oublié tout le français. Je parle à 6 années.
That's it.
That's enough. That's enough.
Welcome to the show. Thank you very much
Thanks
for.
for having me.
Thanks a lot for accepting the invitation in such a
Yeah,
brief timing.
yeah,
You were like, guys, I asked him yesterday night, and then he was just like, let's go. When are you ready? And I was like, tomorrow morning. And then he was like, sure, okay. I'm working until 1 a.m. But
yeah, I have a lot to rant about in this industry, so
right, exactly.
I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I'm
That's
happy
good.
to be, you know, explaining everything and what I
course.
have in my head, and I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and then the future, the past, how
Mhm.
where you come from.
Of course.
You're gonna get into it in a bit,
Mhm.
and it's a great thing because it's a platform. I post everything on YouTube,
Mhm, mhm.
Spotify, and we do some little videos, shorts,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
people seems enjoying it.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, I see the angles,
Yeah,
left and right. It
you
looks
like the
great.
angles?
Yeah. I like them, and I think it's gonna grow. I think having different guests from different industries is
Yeah.
a plus. It's I watched Alp's episode,
Yeah.
and it was really fun. I talked to him a lot about all that he talked about here too, and it's interesting. Now I'm someone from the movie industry, and yeah, maybe next day you're gonna have someone else.
Exactly.
It's gonna keep building up, and it's fun. And
I
I
hope so.
congratulate you. And
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. It's just the beginning, so for now, we're not really a big structure. As you see, it's like a lot of a little.
it's perfect for me.
It's enough.
This is how we all started, like with
Exactly.
the short films as well,
Yeah.
and all that. It's
So yeah,
great.
explain about that short films you do, some
Yeah.
who you are, what you do.
Yeah, my name is Emir. Çalıkkocaog. Really long, hard last name. I actually got into this industry when I was 14.
Wow.
Yeah, I right now I'm behind the scenes, but back then I was in front of the camera. I was actually acting. I was one of the first actors of the Walt Disney Company here in Turkey, the first Turkish production, Zil Çalınca as the bell rings.
Okay.
That was a different experience. That was the first time I saw a movie set, a TV show set. It's the same thing, but
Cameras and all that.
exactly. Yeah, I was blown away. I was like, holy shit, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And then from then on, I was actually getting ready to study psychology in university.
Okay.
I was going on that path, but then I think it was the 12th grade, last grade of high school. I watched all the classics, like everything, like from Forrest Gumps to like Green Mile and The Godfathers, and I was like, oh my god, I don't want to do psychology and put something on my acting because I never thought I was too talented on that. But I want to make movies.
Yeah.
Like I don't just want to be a part of it. I want to make them.
Oh, so that came after your first experience in.
Yes.
Okay.
It really helped a lot. I mean, watching all those classics, all those movies that I haven't seen before, it just something clicked.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to make movies. So I go downstairs to my mom. She was in the house, and my dad wasn't at that point. And I told her, "Look, Mom, I think I'm gonna study filmmaking. I think I want to make movies." And then she goes, "Okay, let's talk about it when your dad gets here too." And I'm like, "All right, okay, yeah, sure." And then my dad got home, and he was like, "You know what? You're gonna study whatever you love. You're gonna do
Wow.
whatever you love." And that was like a big relief because we already sent out a lot of applications on psychology.
Yeah.
So it was like a huge U-turn.
Yeah.
But then it worked out. I was happy. I went to University of Kent.
Okay.
I had a couple friends already over there, very close friends, and education time was great. The last film you made in the school was the best film in that grade that year.
Wow.
And then
That was how many years ago?
that was 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, that was great. And then throughout the time that I was in college, when I got back here for Christmas breaks and all that, I worked in a couple of sets and with producers.
Okay.
I worked with Caner Renault, who was the director of Çıplak in Blue TV, maybe you know.
Yeah.
That was a great experience. And then a couple other movies, and then for a year and a half, I worked with Zeynep Atakan.
Wow.
She was the back then producer of Nuri Bilge Ceylan, which was a huge thing to me because I love him. I love his work. That was a good experience as well. That's when I got to see how to make the movie from bottom to the top, because in school, yes, we learned about the techniques, the theory, the style and all that, about just directing, just the filmmaking part of it, but there's actually a whole other thing behind that as well. So that's when I got to learn through her about finding the script, developing the script, and then putting it to distributors, selling it, and all that. It was a good experience.
It was more practical than
Yes,
than
it was.
university.
It was. Although I didn't make any movies when I was working there.
Okay.
It was right after then I made my first short.
Short movie.
Yeah, short film. I see it as my first short. I've done other stuff on YouTube and all, but those are like super amateur. But I think 2019, end of 2019 or 2020, I'm not really sure. That was when I actually brought up a crew with me. Guys, doing this. We were like 20 people.
Real professional.
Yeah, very professional. Go in, make it happen. One day shoot, done.
Wow.
It's like a dark comedy kind of thing, and it was really fun.
Wait, what's the title of it?
Small Problems.
Okay. So we'll link it. And
Yeah, sure. I'd love.
People can watch. I watched one of them. I watched. I don't remember the title with the woman.
The bar.
We had the bar.
Yeah,
What was?
See, I didn't tell you that that was one of my first films.
Was it?
I find it a bit more amateur on that side, because, I mean, I don't know. I think in context, I was still maturing as how can I say, the kind of style that I want to tell the story, and it's not like a story I would want to tell originally, because I think I was very affected. That was around the time when I was working with John Evernal.
Yeah.
And he's he's a horror movie director and he's a genre director, and I was kind of affected by all this. I mean, I always loved it, but all this blood and gore and this disgusting stuff, I kind of wanted to try that out, but I think it went to another direction where I don't think it works. So it's like one of my first projects, so I kind of put it aside.
No, I think it was great, to be honest. Like,
Thank you.
I was just wondering, for the white and black, where was it in? Is there a reason why it was in white and black? Is it for that gore horror kind of?
I can say that, but I'll tell you the real thing.
The real thing?
The real reason. Yeah, exactly. The real reason was that because I didn't have enough money to do the color grading.
Okay.
And the camera we were using back then didn't capture a lot of the things that we wanted. The texture and stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the technical capabilities, so I just went on with having it black and white, because it makes it much easier.
Of course.
But if you ask me on a
on the diplomatic
analysis kind of way, I'd say it kind of reflects the whole the dark
personality,
the personality of the character, how he turns out. I'm joking, it's just because of the technical stuff.
For sure. To be honest, I really liked it, and then I was amazed that one of the first. I don't know how he's framed. There's the first shot is like the glasses, the shot glasses, and I think that the first like real frame is with Kovanch.
Yeah, Kovanch?
Kovanch is a very good dude of mine.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know him?
I played with him. I mean, maybe it was 10 years ago or something in Istanbul basketball, and we played football together, and then I was like, wait.
He's one of my closest friends.
Really?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He helped me a lot with my movies, and back then we kind of used his car to like get every equipment and go to Pera, the place we filmed, and he helped a lot throughout all this time.
He's amazing.
He's a great guy. He's a great dude. Shout out
to Kovanch. Hi to Kovanch. And the other actor was really good also.
Lorin.
Yeah.
We have a whole story with him. Like that guy, I met him in Z Challenger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was a Disney actor too, one of the first ones as well. And we were rooming with him back then, and he was my closest friend on the set as well. We were having so much fun. And then he went to England as well for university.
Okay.
Conservatory. He was studying acting. We kind of fell apart during that period. I think because we were also both, just so focused on our education. Maybe we didn't even know we were both in UK and stuff. But the moment we got back here, he got a job, and he was calling me and saying, like, he was super excited, and I was excited too to share things with him, because he was a close friend of mine, although we kind of split apart back then. But after that, during the pandemic, I was actually going crazy at my family's house, because I didn't have a house here, so I was staying with my family.
Yeah.
and we were just locked up. You know, I have two sisters and a dog, and my parents, like, just getting to the living room was a kind of a challenge, you know.
Yeah.
And then this one day where, like, in mid-pandemic, remember when the malls kind of opened up and the coffees and coffee shops
Half open, half closed.
exactly. That was when I think Lorin texted me saying, yo, you want to meet up? I have this thing in Canyon, you want to meet up? And I was like, yeah, sure, I miss you, man. And then we sit with him and he goes, you know, I'm so bored at my house, man. You want to come move in with me? You know, we live together during the set and stuff. You know, I think we can do it. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then I moved in with him during the pandemic, and we stayed together for 2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it was great, and you know, we did all this thing. We actually founded a production company right now, a boutique production company, with his family and me aside, and it's like a small family company at the moment. We're trying to grow. We wrote the script together. We made Dolma, the short film. Exactly, he is the lead, and he did an incredible job. I'll send you the link. It's still passworded on a Vimeo because it's still circulating in the festivals. But I
saw the trailer, amazing, and I was searching. I was like, I want to see the whole thing, and then I was like, I understood that most probably it's because it's still, you know.
It's the festivals don't allow you public viewing at the moment. After 2 years, you can open it to public viewing with the laurels posted on the film itself. But at the moment, I can't because they check the numbers, the viewing numbers and stuff. But
where is it right now? What festivals?
It made a premiere in Austria, Linz Festival. That was my first festival experience that I joined with my movie, which was incredible. The jury, all the other directors and screenwriters and actors that were there, they were so, you know, kind-hearted, and it was so nice. That was an experience to be in Austria with my film, and then now it went to festivals in Italy, Cyprus, I think Bulgaria, if I'm not mistaken, and lastly, a couple of days ago, it got accepted to a festival in Los Angeles, which is great.
Congratulations!
Thank you. That's where I want to be.
Of course.
Yeah, but you know, things are looking good. I think it's gonna look better as time goes on.
Of course,
you know, it's a tough industry, but you just gotta grind, man.
Yeah, it's all about that. And to be honest, I really like the industry. I myself was in acting school.
Really?
Back in the days, it's called Cours Florent in France. It's very, very famous, actually. They have some. I think I've heard of it. They have some schools all over the place. I was in Belgium. I went there.
That's cool.
Because it's like I was in when I was young. What's the name? Theater. You know, without what is it, theater?
Yeah, it's theater.
Yeah, I did theater when I was really young, and then I did that Cours Florent. And that, like, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Jesus.
And great. I did 2 short movies.
That's cool. Where are the links, man?
I will send them. I will send them. I don't show them because I'm playing like such an asshole that I'm not showing it to anyone. I'm just showing it to close ones. No, okay. Actually, not a lot of my friends know that I did that.
Now they do.
Yeah, exactly, guys. But it was the best time of my life. It's like you're on set, and the thing that I love the most and that I appreciate so much with you guys is that it's such a close family.
Yeah.
Everybody pushes each other.
Yeah, 100%. That's the way it's supposed to be, if you ask me. Like, I always say this, and I think many other directors would say it as well, but it's when you make a movie, it's really not my movie. It's everybody else's movie in the set, pre-production, production, post-production, it's all our movie. So it's always not my movie, but our movie in that sense. And if you can't bring people together for the same ideal, for the same vision that you have for the story, I don't think that's going to end up being a good film.
Yeah.
I think that's the
biggest secret.
Yeah, exactly. The niche, I'd say, maybe of this whole thing is what I believe. Of course, if you ask someone else, maybe they're going to say something else, but you know, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
So, but it's great, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go.
I want links.
I'll send you, and then you'll tell me how my acting was.
Yeah, please.
It was shitty, but okay. I enjoyed.
I want to see it. I can't say anything. I can't comment.
It's in French, so it's good. You'll practice a bit of your French.
Yeah.
Because you studied French for so long. At least you can make some practice a little bit.
I'm so sad about that. I forgot everything in one summer, man.
It's normal. To be honest, it's really normal. Like, I speak French because it's my mother tongue, but someone who's not, who's like a stranger and trying to learn French, I'm saying the same thing. Like, you guys, never mind, you know, like.
I was dreading it. like when I was in, I studied French till I was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
So because I
Many
was
years.
young,
Yeah,
you know, I
yeah.
was like, oh, mom, I don't want to study French. I don't want to learn French. What am I gonna do with French? I want to
Exactly.
learn English and all that. And then in one summer, you
Yeah.
know, I just forgot it
Did
all.
you study it when you were here in
Yeah, I was
Turkey?
in Saint Pushiri for the first years of school, and
Yeah.
then I went to Dame de Sion
Yeah.
for half a year where I
Okay.
made great friends, and then half a year later, I had to bounce. I got out. I went
Enough.
enough. I went to Aceh where I met Alp actually,
Okay.
and a lot of close friends of mine as well, and I think that was the most fun in terms of school
Yeah.
life in
Yeah.
Istanbul. That was the most fun I've
Alp is
had.
such a great dude. I mean,
He's the best.
he's amazing. Like
He's the best.
when this started, he was like, just yeah, dude. You know, like whatever I can do, like
Yeah,
you know.
he's big on TikTok now, man.
Yeah,
I'm
he
proud
is.
of him. Shout out to him too.
Go follow
Yeah.
follow Alp
Alp.
on TikTok again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make his publicity every single episode.
I'm in as well.
Yeah. You're on TikTok also?
No,
Okay.
just in for us.
Right. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
And you.
I mean, yeah, I'm just sharing the content of like people coming up, so I'm
Of
not
course.
really.
That's how
Yeah.
it grows, right?
But the YouTube algorithm is working crazy.
Really?
It's we have like 30,000 views in like I don't know 3
Great,
weeks.
man.
We're,
That's great.
we're like, what's going
It's
on?
amazing.
Yeah.
I have no idea how these algorithms work.
It's
and
yeah, me too.
I maybe we need to get a hang of it, man.
Yeah.
Because Gen Z is coming and they're
we have-
coming strong, man.
they're
Like,
really
I don't know
strong.
what to do, you know. I feel like we're gonna get left behind about everything, but you know, it's a lot of things to figure out. I don't think I'll be able to do that.
So what's the plan for? You said California. You mentioned California.
Yeah. I'm actually planning on moving to LA
Okay.
in July, probably. I'm actually doing my thesis right now. I'm also doing my master's at the University,
Okay.
and I'm this close.
To finishing.
Yeah, to finishing. I've actually been that close for a while. I've kind of during the period where my parents were moving to the States, I've kind of let everything fall apart. You
Yeah.
know, I was really close to finishing it, but then I put it aside for like a month and a half. And my student advisor teacher, he's a great guy, but he was like silent. I was silent, and I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna finish this and all that? It was just so much stress. But now he loved it and I like it. You know, it's a complex thing that I wrote about, and sometimes I want to go back and change it to something simple so I would have been done by now.
Yeah.
But it was fun writing it as well to some extent, and now I'm really close and I want to finish it and then
Go.
Yeah.
Okay.
mouse.
So what do you have any like physical plan of like I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna do this, or is it just like we're gonna go and figure out?
I think I'm gonna go and figure out at this
Yeah.
point. You know, I've come to this point in my life where I'm, for the sake of having a better life, I'm actually ready to start all over.
Yeah.
And all over in the sense that I have all this work that I put, you know, in my portfolio at this point.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but it's somewhat
Yeah.
in a good place with the
yeah.
festivals and all that. But before I leave, I have some projects that, you know, like music videos, like small projects that I want to get into and
Mhm.
finish them properly so that it could, you know, affect my portfolio too. But
Yeah.
I'm at this point in my life where if I want a healthy and better life,
Yeah.
a life that I'm happy, a life that in the future that I might own some stuff.
Yeah.
Because at this moment we all know how Turkey is. You
Yeah.
know, it's we don't even know if we're gonna be owning a car in the future properly. You know, so if I want to do this, I feel like I want to start from the bottom. You know, I've never been an egotistic guy, but I need to put all my egos aside. Whatever I have here, whatever I have that I don't know,
Yeah.
I have to put them aside and, you know, start fresh, start new.
Yeah.
And if that means that I'm gonna have to work at Target for a year, I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
You know, I'm gonna send out applications
Yeah.
there. I mean, I'm still sending out applications right now, but if anything doesn't come up, I'm still gonna go. Is what I mean. You know.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. But I think I'm just gonna keep creating
Yeah.
when I'm there too. With all my free time, of course. Like I said, we have this boutique production company that I'm not gonna, of course, leave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be joining the meetings from afar.
Mhm.
Maybe the time difference will be a problem, but it's okay. I've always
Yeah.
been a, you know, late sleeper and all that, so
Yeah.
it should be fine. But yeah, I'm always gonna be creating by myself with my partners, and I think at some point it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna happen
Yeah.
properly. But I know it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of patience, and
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have that hard work and patience in an environment where I feel much happier,
Comfortable
and,
also.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
and I think LA is gonna help me with that.
Yeah. And do you have like already friends there, contacts there, or not at
Yeah,
all?
I do. I do have friends from Aceh as well. Shout out to Engin. Deniz. We're just
Engin and
giving out
Deniz,
shout out right
exactly.
now. Yeah, we actually with my girlfriend went there on September,
Okay.
and it was amazing. You know, it's like everyone's smiling, everyone's
Yeah.
happy. You know, I don't think everyone's happy, but they at least seem that way.
Yeah.
Nobody's always, you know, happy, but I don't know. It just feels different. You know, I've always felt much closer to there, but I was in between. You know, should I stay, make a feature film, and then go? You know,
yeah.
all these questions. And I actually, when I went to visit my family to Florida in December, I met with someone who told me a great line basically, and that's how I shaped my vision about moving. He said to me, you know what, the biggest undecisiveness is worse than the worst decision.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I look back, and for a year and a half I was like, should I go, should I leave, should I go, should I leave? And I look back now, I've wasted a year and a half.
Yep.
I mean, of course I've created stuff like I said, but it's still wasting, I guess, you know, because I know that's where I'm gonna be happiest. And you know, I think it was a good push in the sense that making my mind up, even though if it's the wrong decision to do at the moment. But I don't want to say when I'm 50, I don't want to say I haven't tried.
Yeah, I didn't try, exactly.
Yeah, that's the
Plus you don't
thing.
you don't know if it's the right or the wrong decision until you do it, and then until you see what's gonna get out of it.
Exactly.
I mean, there's so many like crazy stories about people who were you know, like on the edge of even suicide, and then they became like, I'm taking the example of KFC, you know, Colonel Sanders. He was like, KFC is Colonel Sanders. He was like, I think, if I'm not wrong, is like 55 or 60 years old.
Okay.
Debts everywhere, and like he was just about to suicide. And then he said, like, just before suicide, he was like, isn't there one thing that I can do in this world? And then he said, I remember that I had one recipe, a chicken recipe that was really good. Everybody loved it. Came down the bridge, walked home, did some chicken, went on the side of the road, started selling chicken, became KFC.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that story.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I hope I never make it to the bridge at the first. But
Please don't.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. Man.
I mean, you already do crazy, really, really nice stuff. So it's just about timing and about hard work.
It is. It really is. Yeah. Like just that threshold that you have to pass. I think at everyone's career.
Exactly.
I think it'll pull up.
No, for sure. We had on the Turkish channel, because we also have a Turkish channel. We had a very dear, good friend of mine who's called Barbaros Akkonyulu. He's you know, Bitdefender, those antivirus softwares for computers and stuff. He's like the big boss here in Turkey of that antivirus. And he said something that just popped up in my mind. He was like, if you do something for 10 years, there's no way you're gonna not achieve what you want to achieve.
Fair enough.
Do it for 10 years, and then you'll see that
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen somehow. But you need to bring up that consistency.
True.
Like, not during 1 month, not during 1 year, during 10 years.
10 years. But what you telling the story kind of brings up this thing that I read with Squid Game.
Yeah.
Maybe you've seen it too. The director and the creator of Squid Game actually had the script ready until 10 years before the show aired properly. But now I'm thinking back, you know, I understand that for a concept in your life, working for 10 years, when I say concept, it's like, let's say directing is a concept in my life that I want to achieve. For 10 years, if I follow that, yes, I think it's going to happen. But in this case, the Squid Game's creator's case, for 10 years, believing so much in a story must be incredibly draining.
Yeah, just one story.
Just one story. I mean, it's a promising story, but after 10 years, wouldn't you go like, okay, maybe this isn't going to work. Maybe I should shelve this.
Look at the result.
I mean, I guess he had the financial stability to hang on because I don't think he has a lot of other things that he has done. I haven't properly researched. I might be wrong, but, you know, I don't think he has a lot of other stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
But this thing, you know, is changed his
boom,
life.
like it went
this
crazy.
explosion, man,
Yeah.
everywhere. It's crazy.
And it's after Squid Game that the Korean actually like filmmaking industry just exploded.
It did, but I think it was the Korean filmmaking has always been amazing in the industry. I mean,
Yeah.
in the independent film industry,
Yeah.
it's been great. I think what actually exploded the Korean film industry would be Parasite.
Oh yeah.
Parasite was, I think, should be taught in every film school. I think it's one of the greatest films ever made. And when I remember, I think I went with Alp to the movies.
Yeah?
As well. I'm not sure, maybe, yeah.
To the movies you went?
Yeah, to
or?
the movies.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
We went to a lot of movies together,
Yeah,
so I
sure.
might be confused. But when I left the theater, I was like, oh my God, what did I watch? This
Yeah.
genre blending, all this complexity within the story. I was like blown away.
Yeah.
This character building, the story building. Is a perfect film in my opinion. Of course, not every film is perfect, but I think one of my favorite films of all time.
That taught you maybe a lot of stuff unconsciously.
It did. Like
Yeah.
I watched it I think 5 times already or 4 times. I'm
Wow.
not sure, but it's just been a pleasure every single time to watch how that story progresses, how that story builds, how the story world
Yeah.
builds around 2 different families with different demographics, different economical financial status, and it's like, oof, now just talking about it kind of, gets me excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I got a couple films that I go that way about. Yeah, I got
What's the other ones?
Birdman, The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
I'm very bad with titles.
Oh, okay, it's the Alejandro González Iñárritu's with Michael Keaton.
Okay.
It just revolves around the theater with the actors.
Okay.
Kind of supernatural, but not, psychological and stuff. You should watch it if you
Alright.
haven't seen it.
I will.
What else? I got Blade Runner 2049. Second one was extremely wow.
I watched it in the plane, to be honest. I'm gonna be very honest. I was in the plane.
I watched it second time on the plane
On the
as well. The first time was in the theaters, but watch it like in a proper system.
Yeah,
definitely.
4K.
It makes a difference. Trust me.
The
The
soundtrack.
sound makes an incredible difference.
Yeah.
From the Turkish cinema, I'd say Winter Sleep, Kış Uykusu,
Yeah.
from Nuri
I'm
Bilge
very
Ceylan.
bad with Turkish
Yeah,
movies,
yeah,
unfortunately.
It's also 3.5 hours long or something.
Oh,
so,
wow,
yeah,
okay.
if you want to watch it, get ready for some.
Get ready for some.
Get
Get
ready
some
for
popcorn.
some slowness. But it's really deep, man. It's
Yeah.
so philosophical. It's like a literature
Yeah.
kind of work,
Yeah.
more than a movie, maybe I'd say. The things they talk about, how it kind of sees the world in a different way. I think that's what makes Nuri Bilge Ceylan special in that sense.
I want to apologize, by the way, to the people
Hmm.
like that are watching and listening for the background noises, because
Yeah.
we're in a place that has like some active people working. So I apologize for that. But unfortunately, I do not have any other solutions. So
No, it's actually we're cooking at the same time.
yeah. So are you hungry?
I'm always hungry, to be honest.
But yeah, so that's the. I apologize for that.
Mm.
Coming back to the subject,
Yeah,
uh,
I was just listing my favorite
yeah,
films.
Irishman, for me,
Irishman
was,
is an amazing movie as well.
to be honest, it's the first time that a 3-hour movie like went like that. I don't. Yeah, you see.
You just wow.
I'm gonna try it again.
Wow. But yeah,
Nice.
you're right.
Yeah.
I think Irishman was I think it's like a love letter almost from
Yeah.
Scorsese to his, all his other works.
Yeah.
I feel like Irishman is kind of like a different kind of coming of age story.
Yeah.
We always see these coming of age stories with the gangster films as well, how a gangster grows up within the gangster family and all that. But I think Irishman is somewhat reversed in that sense.
Yeah.
These old guys kind of realizing that they're old, they've done bad. It's like a different coming of age story, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people that didn't enjoy as well, which is okay, I guess. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Isn't there for you like good movies and then bad movies, and then there's like certain opinions, but there are certain movies that can't be said as bad movies.
It's so subjective. It's like I think, of course, I think you're right with what you say. But then if someone comes up to me with a full-on explanation to why they find the movie that we call so great is not so great,
That great, yeah.
then I would actually, look at it, think about it, but I don't think it would change anything for me.
Yeah.
But you know, there's this in the industry. There's this so many maniacs
Exactly.
that are looking and nitpicking all this things about all this aspects that they can't find around the smallest things where it kind of ruins the movie altogether. I mean, that is sometimes annoying to me. Like, maybe you've heard this movie that came out last year, After Sun. Paul Mescal was also nominated for the Oscars for his performance. He was amazing. But the movie was talked a lot here in Turkey as well, because it's filmed in Marmaris, I think.
Okay.
And it went to a lot of festivals. It won a lot of awards and like nominations, you know, all around the place. And then I watched the film. It's a very intimate story. I get that. But until the very last scene, I wanted something more. So there's this switch between it being kind of like a bad-ish movie for me to an actually good film. Not a great one, but a good film. And that was the ending. Literally the last scene. Like, in a long time, I haven't seen an ending so powerful that it changed the trajectory of the whole film for me. It was, I'm not going to spoil it, but it just, you know, switched it around for me. And I was like, okay, this was a good film. You know, because it left me with a different emotion. That's the biggest thing. I think.
To be honest, you're right. Because when you say that, what comes up to my mind is the movie Dune. The ending. I was so mad at the end. It gives you, but it gives you, you know, a feeling, an emotion.
It does.
But
it's
fucked up emotion. You're like,
definitely.
Don't finish up like that, you know.
Because what I hate about that approach is it's like it's telling the audience, you know, hold up.
Exactly.
It's a franchise, all right? Just wait another year or 2 years, you're gonna get the rest of it. And wait another 2 years, then you're gonna get the rest of it.
Exactly.
I've always been a fan of Hollywood. You know, if we talk about Inception, Interstellar, and all that, the Sevens and the Gone Girls and all that, if you want to talk about it, I'll talk about it all day. But then comes into our lives this company called Marvel. Listen, I enjoy Marvel movies.
Right.
To some extent. I've enjoyed them starting from 2018. When I was younger as well. It had an effect. But from 2018 to Endgame. 2018? I'm not sure. Avengers Endgame was 2018.
I think something like that,
Yeah, so 10 years of this narrative that we have here. It's perfect. It's amazing in the sense that not like Dune, like we cut off the story in the middle.
Exactly.
You actually have separate stories, but actually built within each other, within the same universe. Of course, this is the comic book adaptation that we get, but it's not all about that. I think it's an incredible structure where they kind of kept the audience that they had already from these different films and, you know, merged them to the different films and kept the narrative going until that time.
The last,
The end game time. And then after that, I want to say, I'm excluding the Spider-Mans because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. The rest of the movies, we just watch the same thing, man. The same thing over and over again.
But you know what? Just for holding your audience for 10 years, just hats off. You know,
of course. Like, hats off, man. Like, respect, definitely, 100%.
Like 10 years of audience, just coming back and coming back and coming back. For me, that's crazy.
Yeah, but, you know, I love Hollywood, like I said in my first sentence. I love them. But then they do things like they did in Dune, and I'm like, oh my God. This is what I hate.
Yeah, exactly. It's so frustrating.
This is what I hate.
It's like finish your fucking story, dude. Finish it and then just do another one. Avatar
is...
No, but such as the story finishes.
It does. I will say it does. But
it gives you a clue that there's going to be a second one.
Definitely.
Okay. But it finishes at the end of the movie. You're like, oh, it was such a nice movie.
Closes its story, which is the most important
part. And Dune, you're like... Okay, I'm gonna wait for 2 years to see the second one.
Yeah, we saw Zendaya for 7 minutes. That was great. It was all in marketing and the posters and all that. Yeah, that was great. You know, it's just cash grab at some point. And I was so disappointed because this Denis Villeneuve, I think I'm saying his name right, is one of my favorite directors right now. And I was so disappointed. I was like, okay, great music. Yeah, great visuals. All right, yeah, sure. desert.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, really?
Script completely crazy with
Yes,
stuff happening
oh
all
my
the
God,
time.
everything.
And
I
I'm like,
want to read the book and all
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
it's like in the end, oh my God,
yeah,
it's just cash
Exactly.
grab, man.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. Like at the end, maybe they'll do, when the third movie comes out and the franchise ends, maybe they'll do like a full-on 6.5 hour, 7 hour rendition of all this, you know, just mixing it together. Maybe then it'll be fun, but at the
Yeah.
moment, it's so annoying, man.
It is.
Like with the Hollywood thing as well. If you ask any other someone in the industry,
Yeah.
they would tell you what lives, what brings alive the
Yeah.
cinematic worlds is the independent filmmaking, not the mainstream audience
yeah, of course.
filmmaking. And I somewhat believe in that. Of course, I think the best movies you can make are when you can merge the midsection. So if you can bring audiences from the independent cinema and you can bring audiences from the mainstream cinema and have them sit in one movie and enjoy them both ways, then you have perfected what you have in your vision.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest example to this would be the production company called A24.
A24. Okay.
They have taken the game by storm. Like if you Everything Everywhere All at Once is an A24 film.
Okay.
They have swept the Oscars this year, and like we can check their filmography. It's Midsummer, Hereditary, and all this incredible, movies. Just bringing those two different audience members together. You know, it's amazing. That's in my life. Personally, that's where I want to be. Yeah. That's the kind of movies I want to make. Is that
like the
goal?
The goal, yeah.
Definitely, 100%. If I can bring audiences from both sides and have them enjoy the story, I'd be incredibly happy.
Yeah,
that would be the dream for me.
So that's the long-term goal.
Long-term goal.
And what's the short-term goal? Is it
short-term goal?
Is it like arrive in the States and then do like a first movie and then see what happens, or?
Yeah, I'd say that.
Meet the right people?
Yeah, of course. I mean, personally, going there and having the free time and the capabilities to create something my own, it's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be different, but it's gonna be great, I think.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to be also working when I'm there as well. Maybe in a company 9 to 5, maybe remote, whatever, I'm going to be working as well. So maybe it's going to take a bit more time to develop a script that I'm like happy and confident about doing there as well, because, it's a different environment. I think the biggest thing about making a movie is about knowing your characters. And so far with all the movies I've made, I've known my characters in the sense that I know they're Turkish, because we have this specific Turkish blood.
I was about to say blood.
Exactly. Yeah. So we know what type of character we want to get from our actors and stuff. But when you go there, it's not like I can change, let's say, a character that comes from Anatolia, from a village, to Istanbul and have his kind of disorientation. I can't implement it to, I don't know, the States having a Southern guy go to New York or something like that. That's different. So completely. I think there's going to be some kind of a little bit of time where adaptation period where I get to, I don't know, observe, analyze these people and how, they move, how they talk, what kind of different personalities I come up against, because that's always something that I've loved. Yeah. With everyone I meet with. Observe, man. It's so fun observing people, and I'm sitting here and there's someone on that table, it's not like I'm just gonna listen to their conversation.
No, of course.
If I don't even hear them, I watch their hand gestures, I watch how they compliment each other or how they hate each other, because
interaction.
Exactly, the interaction overall, it's so fun to watch. Do it sometimes.
I do it really a lot. I love it.
Yeah,
I
right.
love it.
It's for acting as well. You've done acting. You know how building a character is different. And I worked a lot with Lorin as well with his auditions and other projects that he's getting and stuff, and of course with his character in my movie and our movie as well. It's just a different process than a director's process.
Yeah,
and that's also fun to experience as well.
Yeah,
it's a good industry, man.
What is he doing now?
He's actually getting ready to appear in Bihter.
Okay.
The new Aşk-ı Memnu's new, how do I say?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they changed the script and all that. Now it's gonna be a movie. Yeah, he's getting ready to play Bashir right
Good
now.
good luck to him.
Yeah.
And also our audience from the analytics on YouTube is a lot from the States. So if we have any producers, if we have anybody in the sector, in the industry, who wants to have such a great mind and worker, his brain works
Hard
well.
worker, leadership qualities. I'm just like promote myself.
You have 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like I'm joining the program from Turkey.
My name is
My name is trying to do an ASMR show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I had a friend. He was actually on the last episode. Barbaros. His name is Barbaros. Not Akonyulu. Barbaros Terzi.
Yeah,
On
I
the
think
English. He came after Alp, and when he arrived here, he put the headset on, and he was like, "Oh my god, I love this."
Yeah.
And he was like, "I have this ASMR, you know." And he was like, "Oh my god, can I stay longer?"
Yeah, I didn't want to get too creepy, but this is actually kind of sexy, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
This is going on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I'm not cutting anything so that you know. So.
No, it's fun. We
No
love
post-production.
We love the natural.
Exactly.
You know, don't cut anything.
Yeah.
Just keep it going.
Just do it.
For an hour, 45 minutes. Like Nuri Bilge Ceylan film. Just keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh my god. Well, it's been 42 minutes, so
Do we have time still? Well,
you can stay for 2 hours, 3 hours, as
Okay.
much as you want.
yeah, I'm chilling, man.
I'm doing I'm actually trying different stuff. So with Barbaros it was around 35 minutes. With Alp it was like 1 hour.
I saw.
Yeah. With my dad, the first guest who came here was my dad. Thanks
That's
a lot,
cool.
Daddy, for coming.
Shout out to him as well.
Yeah, he's like a 50-year-old ball of energy and of stories,
great.
and it's like, I mean, you could put the guy. His life is a movie.
Really?
His life is a movie. He was like, back in the days, he had my so it's Godfather was a guy from Poland.
Poland, yeah.
Poland, yeah, from Poland, and they meet in a bar, in a cafe. They were my dad was in a bar. He was a Grand Prix driver. He was a rally driver.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the days with Sainz's dad.
Damn. Okay.
The Subaru time. But he was like there's like the Subaru like good car who is made from the factory car, and then there's the mechanical car who is made by hand, like so the engine is much less, it's not as good as the one from the factory. And then he didn't have tires, so he didn't have any money for the tire. There was no more money for the tires. It's like it's the same story as with your black and white, you know.
Yeah.
Same
I
thing.
understand.
Yeah. So it was, I don't know, like on a Friday, and on a Saturday, it's back in the days, it's like in the 90s, so it's not the same as now, you know. Now there's a whole like procedure, blah blah blah. And then he was in the cafe. Biggest asset of my dad is that he is the most social person ever. He would connect with anybody in the world.
That's great.
He sits down and then he goes at the bar and then he takes a thing and you see he's like pensive, and then there's this guy next to him and he's like start talking, and the guy has like a vodka brand, and then he says, "Would you be interested to have your brand on my car? I'm a rally driver." I was like, "Sure, okay. What do you need?" 4 tires.
That's great. That's
Okay,
amazing.
Let's do it. Gives him the tires. First Dutch, because he's Dutch.
Yeah.
First Dutch to score a point in the WRC, World Rally Championship.
Wow.
They scored a point with those tires.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
Crazy. And then this is one of the, like, I don't know why did I start talking about my dad, but
great
Daddy,
story.
I love you. Yeah. I don't know how did we come to talk about my dad. I got
the financial incapabilities, maybe we can say.
Exactly.
The context. And
the
how we
context
got
was
there.
that.
But that's a cool story. Wow.
Yeah.
Respect. I think that's incredible problem solving.
Yeah. So yeah, but why? Yeah, that was why with him we did it for like 1 hour and 40 minutes or 30 minutes, I think, like a whole movie length, and we couldn't end it. Like it was, we kept on talking.
Stories.
And
Maybe the stories you've heard many times.
Yeah. And I'm like, keep on explaining, you know, like. So Alp came, we did 1 hour. Barbaros came, we did 35 minutes. So you know, I'm trying to figure out, you know, like what's the good length.
I think this is. I mean,
What's
I
your
didn't
point of view?
feel
Yeah,
like it.
what's like your...
I didn't feel like it was 42 minutes that we talked.
Exactly.
I mean, did I talk a lot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so.
I mean, no, I mean it as in a bad way. Did I
No, in a
talk
good
about it?
way. No,
Okay,
in a
cool.
good way. Yeah.
All right, because I was like,
No,
I
no.
don't know.
In a great way. To be honest, in a great way.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like,
happy then. I mean, if you're happy, I'm happy, and
I'm glad.
I think format wise, it's great. You know, even if it's 1 hour, it's just with the podcast when it flows, it flows.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you don't have any like pauses, like
Yeah,
awkward
yeah.
pauses, like you know.
We didn't have any pause, right?
No, did we?
Not yet.
We're moving into being aware of ourselves, being in the podcast now. This is a whole different like.
So the podcast
thing.
just starts now, guys. Welcome to
Yeah.
Unboxed Exchange.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my god.
well, like I said, man, in the beginning, I think it's a great thing that you're doing. And like I said, when you have different people from different industries, it's just gonna grow.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
and maybe you'll become the new Jimmy Kimmel.
Who knows? Maybe
knows?
Maybe Jimmy Kimmel is gonna call me and be like, "Come and join."
You know,
Who
why
knows?
not?
Yeah.
Why
and then
not?
we'll see each other there because I think it's in California,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I think so. Either New York or California.
Yeah.
But you know, we can bring him anywhere.
can,
It's
yeah.
California. We can
Yeah.
link up with. I know.
You can arrange
I'll
it.
call Jimmy. Like, hey, what's up, Jimmy?
Dude. Get over here.
Yeah.
ASAP.
That's the kind of the dream, you know.
Right?
Yeah. Like, whenever I go into the shower, I kind of like give a speech or be on Jimmy Kimmel. You know, I think we've all done it at some point in
Yeah,
our
yeah.
lives.
For sure.
I have like a couple acceptance speeches that I've prepared. So
Prepared already, yeah.
not like written, but
Written?
you know, I like, you know, when you do it too many times in the shower, you kind of find yourself repeating.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said this before. I'm like, oh, okay, I have to add something to this. You know, I think I find it's because of my excitement. You know, it's not like I think of myself that I'm gonna win an award. It's not something like that. But it's just I you know, I it's an experience that I want to take.
You have to do it because it's another thing that my dad said. He gave the example of Novak Djokovic. He said when Novak was 8-9 years old, he did a paper cup. And he was looking himself in the mirror with the cup, saying, one day I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
And then look at him now.
True.
So
I think it's
do
about
keep on-
bringing
exactly.
it to your energy
Yep.
and aura. I don't know.
Keep
about
on
that stuff,
doing
but
your speeches and
yeah,
perfect them at perfection so that the day that you're gonna need to use it,
perfect.
you're gonna be closed eyes and then just
Definitely,
boom.
definitely. I'm gonna be ready for that.
It's gonna happen. It's
I hope
gonna
so
happen
too. I
somehow.
think it'll happen for all of us. You know, like if you try hard enough to, you know, achieve the success that you want to achieve, and
Yeah.
success is relative, by the way. You know, for me, success right now is making a feature film,
Yeah.
and for somebody else, it can be actually, you know, climbing up Everest,
Yeah.
and that's a success as well.
Of
I
course.
hope everyone achieves their success that they want to achieve in their lives with their hard work.
Yeah.
And I think we need to get in front of those who are winning without doing anything in this, especially in this environment, in this
Yeah.
country that we have.
For sure.
And I don't know, this is the biggest, I don't want to get into it, the politics and stuff, but you know, I really don't.
Every single person,
Yeah,
every
it's-
single Turkish person that comes here goes into. Even my dad was like Dutch and was like, you know, nothing to do. He gets into politics. So
You can't help it.
I said,
so
I was
annoying.
like, guys, you know, I just started this. I don't want to get, you know, kicked off YouTube in like less than a month.
That's why I stopped myself. You know, it's
Thanks
so
a lot.
annoying. We need to have freedom of speech, everyone.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. We need to have it.
We need to.
That's it.
That's our biggest right as people.
But you know what? Come back when I'm really, you know, when the channel is like really known and then that they can't do anything anymore.
They
and then,
can't,
you know,
man. You're gonna have more power than ever, and I think they're leaving it soon anyway. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have freedom of speech, hopefully.
Hopefully. Maybe that's one of the reasons you're leaving.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of it was,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna do. Oh,
Wow.
wow.
I'm like
the
that and
sound
you're like
effects.
that,
Yeah. I'm gonna do what I have to do, as in vote,
Yeah.
and then leave for sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do my part and all that, and hopefully when I get there, some things are better here.
Hopefully.
Because you know I love this country.
And all your friends and all your family and everything.
Of course. Like I'm gonna be, my other half will be here. You know, you can't just leave everything like that.
course.
And I just hope for the best for everything. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a tough time for the country, I think.
Talking about votes, I'm gonna be like one of the guys who is like checking
Standing on
the yeah.
Sandık,
Yeah.
on the case.
on the case.
Yeah,
They called me yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
From earlier, from 2018, did you have connection about that?
No, just 2 days ago, a friend of mine called and he said, "Hey, they need what was it? The name of the party?
Volunteer?
Yeah, like e-party."
Huh.
He said we need someone for like to check the
boxes.
the boxes. You know, have to stand near the box and check the box. I said, "Okay, no, good."
Yeah, we're not.
I did some
I
did some bodyguarding when I was in China back in the day. So
Big guy, man.
I think I should be fine.
Do it, man.
Yeah.
Take down anyone trying to get to the boxes.
I have no idea what I have to do, but I'm like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think
it's
just about waiting and
Yeah.
not making sure that nobody puts more than one envelope in. You know,
Right,
that's the most important thing because that's what they're gonna do. Anyway,
Anyways,
we're not gonna.
so such a sunny day.
But you just can't help it to get at this point now.
It's very difficult to not talk about it, just because of how complicated and how affected the whole country is.
Yeah.
But let's keep it on a good note and think
Of course,
hope for better days.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, there's just one thing I can tell about the industry that I have on my mind that I haven't gotten out yet.
Yeah.
Is in this country we have this, I don't know why, but we have this system of giving opportunities to people that have already had opportunities and maybe not have been successful enough to earn those opportunities again and again.
Yeah.
As in the sense that, I don't know if you watch the cable TV channels and
Sometimes,
shows, TV shows.
Sometimes.
It's always the same people.
Yeah.
Acting, directing. It's
Yeah.
always the same people.
Yeah.
I think here we have a lack of trust to the new generation, the lack of giving opportunities and providing platforms for them to put their works out there.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends that are in the commercial business. I've stayed away from it to some extent. Of course, I've seen sets from, I've worked in commercial as well back in the days, but I've stayed away from it in the sense that I'm not, signed on to anyone or anything.
Yeah.
But I have friends that are actually trying to create their own opportunities while being within that commercial system. And I think that's just disgusting. Because like I said, in A24, the production company in America, they actually provided a platform of a feature-length film to a 17-year-old kid because he did a great YouTube series, like a horror series.
Wow.
I think it was named Backdoors or something.
Okay.
He did like this cool looking and cool atmospheric horror series, like a couple minute short clips, or I haven't seen them, but I read about it. And A24, being the biggest production company in the world, is providing a platform for a 17-year-old to showcase his talents on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
I mean, some would argue that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Maybe not to give the helm of the project to a 17-year-old. It might not be exactly the greatest thing to do. But
I don't really agree, but yeah.
I mean, it's still providing something, I mean, some people might say, oh, he's not even 18 or something like that, But the guy did something on YouTube, and now he's getting the opportunity he has wanted, maybe through his hard work that he did on YouTube. It's a great way to use the platforms that you have and have the opportunity from the industry giants,
Yeah, of course.
And as a country, selling, I think, fourth most around the world our projects. We need to be able to create more and more. Not just the same things, with different people, with different ideas, different structures, different style, different form. We have so many opportunities, and I even know from my limited connections and there are so many talented people just waiting for the opportunity. And in a country that is so active in filmmaking and TV show making or whatever, we don't get enough opportunities as the new generation. I
It's
think.
a lot of repetition.
It's
the same.
with the act. I'm not just saying this in the director's perspective as well, with the actors
acting.
too.
Yeah, of course.
I think I'm so sick and tired of seeing all the same guys doing the same mediocre acting without anything to put in to their characters that they create. I've just,
You're 100% right. I remember I don't watch a lot of cable TV, but one day I opened and then I saw I will tell you what's the title, Sokaklar something, Arka Sokaklar. Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember that I watched it for like maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe my eyes because there's a big difference with the first like episodes of Arka Sokaklar, which were I think not that bad, and it was like for that time really good.
Yeah.
And now you see that they're trying to put like foreign people, like foreigners. They're in the shot the episode, just to have like a foreigner.
Man, it's
and then they don't know how to act.
They don't.
And it's like you put a chicken in the middle of, I don't know, like whales.
Yeah. Right. Good analogy.
You know, like, I mean, it doesn't work.
It's so stupid. We get all, like, none of them can act.
Yeah.
None of them. Like, I can maybe name 5 or 6 people that can actually act here.
Yeah.
Because they have the freedom to create their own characters. That's another thing, because a lot of cable TV shows, they don't have freedom on anything. Because they get monitored about everything. But then again, there's a big lack of honesty also. Big, like, we're talking about censorship here, but we're censoring what? Alcohol, cigarettes, and blood. But then we get rape everywhere. Like, you know, I mean, if you can cut that out.
No, it will be there.
But that's the reality.
No, it's the reality.
It's the reality.
And it's just a little.
Exactly, it's just the surface of it. Like,
of the iceberg.
Let's not say rape, although it exists, but let's say who gets married with who, and who does this to which love triangle should be, get closer to.
I will give the only example I'm gonna give, and I think it's gonna resume the whole situation very easily. Is after that earthquake, there is that imam who said that the children could the children who didn't have any parents anymore and who was going to get adopted by the new families, they could get married with their parents, like adoptive parents. It's not a problem.
I mean, what's the context here of saying that sentence? Like,
anyways,
but I need to get that off my chest.
You're right. And then we hope that the Turkish industry is such a big one. Actually, I went my only experience that I had on a Turkish, like how do you say, like a Turkish set was on Kenan Doğulu's movie music video. Yeah,
that's cool. Which one?
I played there. It was Vibe. Yeah,
that's cool. All right,
it was really nice. I mean, great people again. Great atmosphere.
I think he's a great guy.
I didn't meet him. Yeah,
I didn't meet him. Yeah,
I didn't meet him. Met him. I don't remember my English. Crazy guys. I'm sorry, but the whole set and the whole people there were really kind, really good people, and it was a great time.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I don't know when. Were you a child when you went there, or was it soon?
No,
like, was it close?
Yeah,
that's
a few
cool.
years ago.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Did you? How many hours did you work? Do you remember? 12.
Half a day.
Half a day.
Yeah.
But it was just like when you got to the set.
I was just like I was not even like a main character. I was like how do you call them? Like the people that are
the extras.
Extras. Yeah. But I was part of the extras.
Like, the question I was asking is, when you left the set, did it end, or like did they paidos the set? Did they end the set? Yeah. So it was like a half-day shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Because the biggest problem in Turkey the recent years, which is actually improving right now, is the 16-hour work days.
What?
Yeah, 2-3. I think before the pandemic, it was 16 hours. Can you think? Like, can you imagine how much work that?
Oh my God.
16 hours to make someone work for the money that they're gonna get 3 months later as well.
Yeah.
That's another thing about the industry, but they changed it now with the syndicates and stuff. So now it's 12 hours, which is the universal, working hours and stuff.
It's official to 12.
Official, exactly. Sometimes it goes on, but
obviously,
they can't really do it day after day, 16 hours. If they make it to 16 hours, they kind of
burn out.
Do it. They burn out. But if the set is required to go on for 16 hours, it can only be like a 1-day shoot.
Okay.
So you can't bring them the next day to the set. If it's like a 1-day shoot and that you have like a couple shots that needs to be taken, you can extend it to 14 to 16 hours, but it's really not that common anymore. It used to be in every set, 16 hours, people working, hairdressers and the equipment guys, the camera department, the sound department,
the extras,
all of these
even
people,
the extras are staying there like for like waiting.
Yes, like oh my God, the 16 hours, and the most comfortable ones are the actors, of course, because they can wait in their caravans, the vans and stuff.
Of course.
But yeah, I think it has improved.
It's like it's a bit of like SM, you know,
SM.
SM sadomaso, you know, like
Yeah, of course.
like
Oh my God, I have stories to tell, but should I? Okay, I'm not gonna
platform is yours.
I'm not gonna give names
Okay.
in this story, but
Yeah.
I went through this thing. Um, there was this TV show, cable TV show that I visited the set of.
Okay.
I went there because I knew the producer. I was like, it's been a while. I want to see a set, but I don't want to work. It's like a couple of the days. Could I just maybe, examine, observe the set environment? And he was like, yeah, sure. Go to this set with this director. I was like, okay. I go to the set, and it's the first day. They're shooting a scene upstairs. There's a villa outside of Istanbul, kind of. So they're shooting a scene upstairs, and they're shooting a scene downstairs. And usually, that in movies and TV shows, you got a director that should be shooting the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So in Turkey with cable shows, you get the main director, and then you got the second and the third director kind of thing. But those are not assistant directors. They're actual directors working underneath this main director.
Okay.
It's a weird ass system. I hate it. I don't understand it.
Of course.
And the first day I was there, the main director didn't show up. And I was like, okay, who's filming what and how is this happening? And they have to air the episode that they're filming at that moment on Saturday. And it's like, I don't know, Wednesday or something.
Oh my God.
Already. So they're filming, and I go downstairs, even more downstairs in the villa, and I see an editing station there. They're actually getting the scenes that they shot upstairs, putting it into the laptop, the desktop computer that they have, and they start editing there. And I'm like, okay, all right. And I go home, and the next day I come back, and this time they're shooting at the attic.
Okay.
So it's like a really narrow space, right? And they have to bring out the, how do you say it in English? The rail system for the camera to move, and they're carrying the railing. So I step out, right? I go into a narrowish room to give space to them.
Yeah.
And as soon as they walk by, I walk out and I turn my head, and there's this guy with like a beard and stuff. He goes like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I was just making way for the." She's like, "Move away, I'll kill you." I'm like, this is one of the awkward silences we can get here. Yeah, exactly. This
That's
happened.
a good awkward though.
Yeah. And then he goes like, "I'll kill you." And then I'm like, okay. I step away, and he goes into the room. He slams the door shut. And then apparently it was the director, the main guy. He arrived. And then he had his assistant apparently, and he goes like, "Oh, that's the." Excuse me.
No worries.
"Oh, that's the Hoca's room," because you call Hoca to the directors
guy,
in the sets. That's the director's room. And I go like, okay, did I do something wrong? And he goes like, no, he's a bit stressed and all that. I didn't say to the guy, I was gonna go like, yeah, he wasn't here yesterday.
Fuck
Where
that
was he?
shit. What kind of bullshit
And
is
then guess what happens? Because I was there knowing the producer, right?
that? Yeah.
And then the door opens all of a sudden. The same door he slammed on my face. He goes like, "Did this guy send you?" Naming the producer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not give names so
Don't give
hard.
names. Don't give names.
He's like, "Did this guy send you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, why didn't you say so? Come in, please. Like, let's talk. Just closes the door shut. And then we sit down, and we have this table here. I look at him, and he goes like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I want to be a director." And as soon as I start talking, guess what he does? He reaches down next to the table. He brings up a bottle. He has a glass already. He pours some. I think it was filled with coffee already. He just poured in some of his own medicine there, alcohol, and he puts it down. And then he just like, "Yeah, explain. What do you want to do?" And I'm like talking, And as I'm talking, I look down. I see 3 more empty bottles right next to my leg.
God.
And I'm like, yeah, I want to be a director. I want to do this and that. I studied in England. I came back. I'm looking for stuff. I want to make my own films. And he goes like, "Don't." I'm like, okay, that's very encouraging. And he goes like, "No, it's not like what you think." I'm like, I don't know what to think at this point. I've seen a lot of sets and I know what it is, but
Yeah.
what you're saying is what I don't think it is. I don't understand. I
Yeah.
go like, because I'm like,
he's
what the
such-
fuck is happening
Exactly.
right now? This guy is drinking in front of me. He wasn't here yesterday. He's supposed to shoot a TV show that they have to air in a few days, and he's here chatting with me.
And
And who the
drinking.
fuck am I? I mean, if I had a set the same way and somebody was visiting, I'd say hi, enjoy, and then go on to my work. Because you got 50 people waiting for you to work your ass off. You have to be aware of everything. You have to know everything. You have to know what you're shooting. You have to know who's acting in that scene. You have to know what kind of lighting you want to use, where you want to put the light, where you want to put the camera. And this guy is in the room drinking and chatting with a kid that came there knowing someone just to observe. And I'm like, I left the room. The conversation went nowhere.
Yeah.
You can't imagine.
Of course.
Like, he just told me, yeah, I sent my daughter to abroad as well to study. She just wants to be a director as well. This kind of conversation. And I left the room and I was like, okay, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And then I went for another day, and then I didn't go again.
You were like, that's enough.
Man,
Yeah.
you have to see the set. Everyone's miserable. Everyone's cursing at each other because he lost control,
Of course, yeah, for
Like
sure.
we said in the beginning of the episode, you said that you have to make sure that it's like a family.
Yeah.
That's so true. I saw that as well. He lost control. And, I forgot one thing. I left the room with the guy together. So the first time he goes into the set when they're shooting, guess what he does? He calls cut immediately, and he goes like, I saw an editing failure in the last episode. If you do that again, I'll fire all of you. First thing he said.
Wow.
He said, this first time he stepped into the set.
Such a motivational speech.
It's like a monster, man.
Yeah.
How could you be abusing that power that you have? You have a power being the director, but you have to use it in order to achieve the vision that you have, working alongside those people, not coming in yelling, trying to kill, just giving out threats to everyone. It's just, I think it just says a lot about
They're in the wrong body in the wrong place at the wrong moment, doing the wrong thing, and everything is wrong. So they're just trying to get it out on someone else.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. I mean,
I don't see how.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to undermine anybody's mental health. Everyone's going through stuff.
Yeah.
But how fucked up could you be to do something like that?
And there's a big ego also issue here that we don't even have to mention. But it's like, when someone just is a little bit, did something a little bit, I wouldn't say that they renown, that people know them.
Yeah.
They get into like their whole.
Exactly. It's so stupid as well. If I
One of the reasons why I love Keanu Reeves that much.
He's
that guy
amazing.
is just like,
he's so humble, man.
Yeah.
He's incredible. He's taking the subway. He's like chilling.
Yeah.
He's like, it's just amazing. He's helping, donating.
Yeah.
He's just a man. People's people,
Yeah.
He's great. I love it.
Everybody should be like him.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Although I don't like his acting that much.
Yeah, that's another story.
I think he's just like a wood just standing there talking. I'm
Yeah.
here to kill. But anyway, by the way, another story I can tell if you want.
For sure.
I hope I'm not talking to
No,
I feel
you're the guest. Come
self-aware.
on, are you crazy?
Okay,
or
this is one more thing.
Yeah.
That was my first set in the commercial business.
Okay.
I went to this commercial company. I'm not gonna give names. I have to remind myself.
Remind yourself. I'll beep it if you.
Okay,
I'll beep.
yeah.
So don't worry, I can beep.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Then I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
There was this. I was the third assistant director. So
Okay.
it goes like that: director, first AD, which is one of the most important people in the set.
Yeah.
Second AD and third AD is usually people like me going to the first, jobs or just arranging the extras.
Yeah.
Go here, go there.
Running all the.
Yeah,
place.
did you wear this to the extras, and everything is set. We have to block the road if you're filming outside and stuff, and that was my job as a third assistant director. And of course, printing out the schedules, the call sheets, and all that.
Yeah.
That was my job for that set, and it was supposed to be a 2-day shoot. Each day different location, and of course, you get this thing called in Turkish reke. I don't think it's Turkish as well, but it's REKKE.
Okay.
Reke. And that's when you go to the locations that you want to film with the camera crew and the director and the lighting crew. And that's where you basically talk with the technical team where you want to set up stuff so you're aware of what you're gonna get on the set day.
Yeah.
So-
Arrangements.
exactly.
Yeah.
Before that day, I was at the office. I was working on the storyboards. You know the storyboards.
Yeah,
You get the drawings and stuff. The AD told me that these plans going through the storyboard, this one, and this one will be left out, but they might be filmed, so keep it as extra plans. I was like, okay, well, what should I do at this point? Because we have an arrangement, you know?
Yeah.
We have the shooting schedule, so 1, 2, 3, and I can't leave 4 here if it's gonna be extra. I have to put it somewhere else, you know? So what I do is I take out those extra plans and I add another page and I put them behind the storyboard.
Yeah.
So if someone goes through the storyboard, they can see that we have these extra plans as well. And of course it has the, you know, the scene numbers on top of them. So
Yeah.
if we want to go back and see it and okay, we might want to film this, you know, it's very easy for me. That's what I was
Logic.
thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
logic, you know, I don't want to mix up the whole schedule. So I do this. And then we get to the recce and I'm asked to, of course, hand out the storyboard so that the whole team could crew could see. And then as I'm giving out, everyone's okay, and the AD picks them up, one of them. And all of a sudden, of course, I step away, you know, if they're talking over there, I'm stepping back, I'm just observing. And then I see the AD with the biggest fearsome stuff. She just gets up, starts collecting them from everyone else. And he gets them and he throws them on the table in front of me. And she goes like, do one thing right. And I've been there for 2 weeks, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe I did something wrong, but you have to tell me what I did wrong. What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
And she just throws them over, like, in front of me.
Yeah.
And she said, but by the way, she was cursing as well when she said this.
Obviously.
Do one shit right in that kind of way.
Beep, beep, beep,
Exactly.
beep.
And then she turns around and she goes to talk to the technical equipment, the crew.
Crew, yeah.
Like, go on with the day. And I'm like, I'm looking at him, and there was this really sweet guy. I still love it. I love him. He was a second AD back then. He came to me and he's like, "It's okay. She gets stressed sometimes like that. I understand you. Don't worry. You didn't do anything wrong."
So it was.
And I was like, "Well, did she really have to do that?" And he goes like, "Well, you know, sometimes she is like that. You kind of have to get used to this stuff in this industry." That's what hurts me, man.
Yeah.
Why do I have to get used to this stuff in the industry? Like,
you shouldn't.
I shouldn't. Like, okay, I don't want to put myself above anyone else. There might be people that are much better than me. I know,
sure, no,
for sure, and people that are much worse than me.
Of course.
But when I get to the commercial production company, this one guy also came up to me and said, "Oh, you have to, you know, stay here for 10 years in order to become a director." And I'm like,
why would you say anything like that? What's the purpose?
It's my first day. I studied, and you know, I studied this. I studied abroad. I tried to do my best. You know, I know a lot of people that haven't studied this and managed to do this because they had different opportunities back in the days. Like Nuri Ceylan was an engineer. I'm not undermining anything, but he didn't study film. He was an engineer, so that can happen as well. But I have studied film, so I have somewhat of a knowledge in what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, I might not be aware of the commercial world yet,
Yeah.
but does that mean 10 years from the top of your head like that?
Yeah.
And just put down all my motivation day one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need that in my life. No young person getting into an industry needs that in their lives.
Yeah.
They need more of a mentor to lead them in the right direction. And that's from these experiences, that's what I've been trying to kind of achieve as much as I can. There's this a young great, very talented guy, I can name him Yeet. There's no wrong thing about naming. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's very talented, and he was actually living in Ankara.
Okay.
And he saw my short on Izmir Short Film Festival website.
Yeah.
And he texted me over Instagram saying, "Oh, I loved your movie and stuff. I'm actually coming to Bahçeşehir University to Istanbul. I would love to meet up." And he sent me this clip he made for 10 Kasım, for November 10th, for Atatürk's death anniversary. And I watched what he did, and it was like really, really good.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yo, dude, this is amazing." I texted him back, and I'm like, "Let me know when you get to Istanbul. Let me know whatever you need." And months passed. He came to Istanbul. I actually, took him out to coffee, to lunch, whatever. And then I got to know him.
Yeah.
And he's like really talented. He's like open-minded. Of course, he has his minuses and he has his pluses.
Like everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And throughout all these experiences that I have on my own, I want to give back. And that's another ideal that I want to achieve in the future with this production company that we have right now. If it builds, and I want to say when it builds onto something greater, I want to provide these opportunities to these talented, hardworking people within my reach, and whichever one reaches me, if I'm gonna have some sort of power in the industry, that's the power I want to have, and that's how I want to use that power.
Share it, yeah.
Exactly. Share it with people, give them opportunities, present them platforms to showcase themselves, and just in overall, just create something that worths for this country, that worth something. So these things, they happen. They kind of, I think, built my personality.
Of course, it's
built who I am today.
All your experiences.
Exactly.
That's who you are.
I'm grateful for everything that happened. I'm grateful for not getting killed by that director. I'm grateful for that crazy AD.
Yeah. Grateful for being here today.
Grateful for being here today, meeting you.
Me too, same. We just met before this, and
exactly.
Such a great guy. So,
great guy. How do you pronounce your name?
Vangelis.
Vangelis.
Yes, it's French actually. So in French it's Vangelis.
Vangelis. You put the S in the end? Oh, okay.
It's Greek actually. Vangelis.
It sounds Greek.
It's a whole.
You got so many roots, man.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
It's crazy. Like it goes everywhere. So like,
that's a whole other episode.
Yeah, it's a whole other episode.
All right.
But dude, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, man.
We as a platform, me as a person, wish you all the best, and
me too.
In your future experiences, in whatever, for Dolma, for the future of Dolma, for all the rest. I wish that you can achieve what you want in America.
Thanks,
bring
man.
it back here, and then share it with the people here, because
I hope so.
that's the biggest thing that you could do for your country. Is bring all that back here.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, and thank you for your kind words, man. I wish the best for you as well. I wish that this podcast, and like I said, with all your success other than this podcast, I wish you the best, man. I hope
Thanks a lot.
You can achieve all of it, and we want to see this on Jimmy Kimmel.
Exactly.
We want to see Jimmy here.
We want to see Jimmy. Jimmy, if you hear us, I'm sure you will. Hack Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
No, but yeah, definitely. I mean, Joe Rogan, Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Those are all like a big. They're really.
I bet they're big
inspiration.
influences, right?
Yeah,
for you, like
very big, because it's very, very pure stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Joe Rogan. I love him because he doesn't care about no one. Just come, sit down.
That's an important thing.
Talk and say whatever you want to say, and then he agrees sometimes, he disagrees sometimes, but he doesn't judge.
Yeah,
that's the
unfiltered but respectful.
Exactly.
That's great.
That's the concept of Unbox Exchange.
There we
what
go.
did you say?
Unfiltered and.
You just said something we will see in the.
Unfiltered and respectful.
Exactly, unfiltered and respectful. So, if this ever. I don't want to say if, I'm going to say when this will get to the upper levels, we'll have you again, and then you'll
definitely
you'll explain us.
I'll tell you more fucked up stories,
exactly.
guys.
maybe in the US, if I come to the US, we'll do a next episode.
Let's do that, man. Let's do it in the Santa Monica Beach.
Deal. That's a deal. See you in the US.
All right, man. See ya.
Thanks a lot for coming again.
Thank you again as well.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.